Good morning, everybody. Happy July 5th. It is JT Bear here on yet another Sunday in the Gardens. Let's take a quick look around and see how things are doing. I've made a few changes since last week and harvested a few things, but, for the most part, things are looking pretty good. That willow still desperately needs a good clipping. I want to take some of those leaves off for a root promotion project. And here you can see one of the goji berries just going nuts. We found some gojis down the street that are starting to produce fruit, so I don't think these guys are going to do it this year, but maybe next. That other goji berry that was growing all kind of scraggly and off to the side, we've buried a small chunk of into the rhubarb barrel and letting it grow out beyond there. Hopefully that'll take root. Same kind of theory as I'm using with the grapevine out back, really. Here's that black lace elderberry. Still haven't gotten around to cutting it, but definitely this week. And then there's the elderberry I did dirty from permaculture prepper. Seems to be taking on just fine. Mint in the background. Always doing fine as long as it's got a little bit of moisture. It lives. Here you can see the hascap berry is starting to put off some more new shoots there. So that's good. And there's that honeyberry in the back. The leaves seem to be surviving much better this year than last, but I'm trying to make sure that they're not wet at night, try and prevent any powdery mildew issues, because I'm pretty sure that's what wiped out the leaves last year, was powdery mildew. Looking good this year, though. Now this looks a whole lot different, doesn't it? It's the indigo rose tomatoes. Still not quite to the top of the tree yet, but they're working on it. So my buddy Sharm down there at Gardening for Fun did a little research, and apparently these tomatoes tend to turn purple when they're in the sun. So I cut off a lot of the shade leaves and exposed a lot more of the tomatoes, and as you can see, that left me the opportunity to try and run them over to these bamboo stakes here, so potentially this could be quite a nice wall of green and purple. We'll see. It's another one of the Kung Pow hybrids. It's starting to change color. These things are so funky as they ripen. And there's that first one. See if I can get a good view of it here. Looks like it's completely dried up while still on the plant. That's just funky. That's going to be awesome and hot when it comes time to harvest all those. Here's that red demon pepper. Got some wilty leaves on the bottom I got to take care of. But look at all these fruit forming. Look at all those flowers. Because of the water restrictions here, we're only allowed to really water every second day. So that's a big part of the ponics. End up with a lot of dead stuff on the soil plants because of those restrictions. Here you can see that green curry is just totally taking over the bucket, and the little bit of it that's being allowed to go to seed and flower here. Isn't that pretty? I wish you could smell it though. It's like, it is easily the most potent curry smell I've ever noticed coming from this plant. Gotta love it though. It's one of those ones you bash it around, it likes it, and it smells good. Beside it here we've got two of the burpy lemon yellow hot peppers that I did bring out front. As you can see, they're surviving just fine. Starting to get lots of flowers and starts on here, so by next week, hopefully I'll have some little yellow peppers to show you up front here. Let's go check in the back. As you can see, the flower on the leek is coming along quite nicely. Kind of hoping to be able to harvest some seeds from this. Ought to be interesting. Let's take a look at the rest of the gnome garden down there. Some of those beets are doing incredibly well. There's garlic up front here. I don't know how these guys are doing. Undoubtedly better than they were unwatered in the Folgers cans. A lot of weeds in the back there I still haven't pulled out yet. One of my peppers. See some flowers, but I don't see any fruit on that one yet. There's that leek. Lots of fruit hiding inside that pepper plant. Just gotta get the right angle. Can't really see it so well from here, but down here we've got one of those indigo rose suckers. It's doing alright. Got some good fruit forming at the bottom. Nowhere near as many as the plant out front, but that thing gets sun pretty much from dawn till dusk. This one, not so much. About half of that, I'd say. Here we've got one of the mini bells. Don't quite know what color this one's going to turn out to be, but it's sure got a cute little pepper on the bottom of it there. Oh, and another forming above it. Excellent. I took out the mini bell that was beside it, put in some of the strawberries from the gray bucket in the Frankenponics. I am going to end up putting those strawberries out and all over this garden. See, some of these carrots are starting to perk up a little bit. Nothing great. Some of the weeds are taller than the carrots, but you know, I'll pull the weeds, leave the carrots. It's the gardener's state of being, isn't it? Always something to do in the garden. Then the elderberries here in front of Carl and Annie. That one that was just a twig has decided it wants to live. Excellent. And back here we've got 4 red Thai peppers, another fabulous indigo rose from a sucker, doing quite nicely. Some more beets along the front. A few more strawberries from runners. This is another one of the Seascape strawberries from the Frankenponic system. And moving over, we got more red Thai peppers and a volunteer tomato that I'm still hoping is that Sweet Juliet hybrid. We'll have to see what the fruit look like. That dang solo cup that I keep forgetting to get rid of. So there's the gnome garden. Alright, now I told you there had been some changes. Let's get started on showing that, because I mean the strawberries in the gnome garden, that's not all I'm talking about here. I finally got around to doing some transplanting. Look who finally got a home in the green bucket. Yay! The blueberry's finally been transplanted. I'm just letting it sit back here for a little while, because it gets a little bit less sun, like I was saying about the gnome garden. A little bit of yellowing going on in these new leaves. So I'm thinking maybe putting some iron in there might not be a bad idea. I'll have to look into that. Finally transplanted that red bell as well. Here are a couple of those chili red peppers. So, figured this bin would be ideal. It's one of Shox's old worm bins, so it's got some drainage holes at the bottom and along the sides. Over here we've got that habanero sitting in front of the 2x4 collection now. As you can see, it's doing quite well. Even some fruit beginning to form in there. Certainly lots of flower sets on that. That's going to look incredible once it starts putting out the fruit big time and they start changing color. I think that's part of what I love about peppers so much. Pepper plants are like fall. You just kind of get to enjoy watching everything change color. The standards on the 2x4 collection are doing quite well. I've got the 2 Bolivian Super Freaks here. One way more productive than the other. These Golden Cal Wonders starting to put on some fruit and some flower, even though they're still kind of stunted. Good looking pepper start there. Not a bad looking pepper start there. Looks like one just above it that didn't quite make it. But that's life in a garden, isn't it? So those guys are looking alright. It's another view at those Bolivian Freaks. One up, one down, so I guess both of these peppers make the shrine after all. Who knew? And those burpy yellows from the seeds that I saved. Look at the growth on those guys. It's phenomenal. I'm going to get a better angle too, so I can show you just how many flowers are popping on the top of those 2 plants. Oh, this is just incredible. They're not showing up terribly well, but they are everywhere. I'm thinking 2 weeks, and we should be seeing this littered with small yellow peppers. Fantastic. The ones out front are looking pretty much the same. Not too much of a difference from the extra sunshine yet. But I think, you know, by a couple of weeks we'll probably start to see how that extra sun is paying off in a positive way. Here you can see a lot more of the shrine peppers that have recently been transplanted, and some of which apparently need to be watered. But for the most part they're doing well. The Tangerine Dream is finally starting to look like a really real pepper plant. Same with the Fatale behind it, so that's excellent, since those are both shrine peppers as well. Here's another Red Demon, not quite doing as well as the one in the front, but still looking very nice. These banana peppers have recently been raided. Check out the Bear in the Kitchen channel. I finally got around to pickling some peppers. I did, oh I did. Nice quick easy refrigerator pickle too, so worth checking out if you're interested in a no canning method for some quick pickled anything really. Here's another one of those Bolivian Rainbow Freak cross pepper seeds. They don't really have a real name because they're not really a real pepper. They're just a beautiful and happy accident. You know, let me take this opportunity to remind everyone, if you're trying to save pepper seeds, make sure that's the only variety of pepper you're growing that year, or you're going to end up with happy accidents too. This is pretty cool though. I love the purple. You know, hard to believe that I spent 10 years in this house with that shed taking up this beautiful gardening opportunity. Look how well all these plants are doing. I did whine a lot about how it's the best spot in the yard and it's got a shed in it. What the heck? Here's another one of those golden cow wonders from seed. It's got a few little peppers hiding in there. Not looking too bad. Oh, it's kind of cute. Looks like this chocolate bell has got a couple of peppers forming on it too. A little bit deformed, but such is life. To even live in my garden is enough of a miracle. The mouse melons. Little melons everywhere on that thing. Brought in a good handful of these yesterday and started taking some seeds out. So those are just drying right now, and to whoever receives giveaway B, they will be in a couple layers of paper towel. You will need to change that paper towel before you store those seeds. But I'll include some of them, and here's to hoping they grow for both of us. This beauty here is one of the poblano / ancho peppers. It's a very nice looking plant. I'm very happy with it. And what do we have here? Very interesting shape to that pepper. Quite looking forward to watching it grow. And as we examine the plant here, there are certainly plenty of flower clusters. So I'm going to get quite a few of those peppers too. Very exciting. It's a good year for peppers this year for a lot of people. Oh, there's another one. Something in the air? Perhaps. Who knows? The heat wave, perhaps. Here's one of those 69-cent Tabasco peppers. You know, it's got some issues at the bottom. You come up here and you can see plenty of new growth and, oh yeah, plenty of flower formations. So this will ultimately be a pretty productive pepper, I think. Time will tell. And I'm pretty sure it's gotten a little bit bigger since I transplanted it. It's another example of the long red cayennes. I really enjoy how productive this pepper is for me in general. Even in off years, these plants do really well here. Highly recommended for ridiculously hot growing environments. They are a thin-walled pepper. I think that probably has a lot to do with it. It doesn't take as much moisture to maintain the quality of the fruit. But, oh, they're hot. Make sure you grind up the seeds when you powder your peppers, and yeah, you can thank me later. Long red cayennes. This is one of the banana peppers that I've grown from seed. Very pleased that it's finally starting to get some pepper starts on it, and climb up the plant here again. There's a whole lot more setting in, so next couple of months should be fabulous. But I was checking out the packet, and apparently these will go to a nice bright red when they're proper ripe, so that will be nice to see. Which kind of brings us to the shrine update. Out of that last planting, this is pretty much what came of it. I've got 1 Uyababa pepper and 2 Carolina Reapers. So, not much to add to the shrine, but they're growing right along. Give them time, give them time. Over here I've got one of the smaller elderberry clippings, getting used to life as an abused plant. So this is going to go out to a permaculture location. Not the previous one, because that has already been violated and messed up, and I'm not even going to bother taking the camera out there after what I saw. But some random mini bells. We'll see how those do. Little chocolate beauty trying to force its way up through the plant there. Still got 3 more of the 69-cent peppers to transplant there. Check out that sand dollar reaching for the sky and putting out flowers once it gets there. Excellent. Isn't that beautiful? Just beautiful. It would take forever if I went through these one by one, but as you can tell, the shrine peppers in the self-watering coffee cans seem to be doing alright. Look at that little blue. I'm basically convinced that's the same as a Bolivian rainbow pepper, which is what my freaks started out as. Well, were taken from, but I don't know for sure. Got the Alipu. Somebody explained that to me once and I've already forgotten. But there, look at that pepper. It's coming along nicely. It's amazing, you know, with all of these varieties, there are still so many I don't have. So, one thing I do find kind of interesting is these two here. This is one of the 69-cent peppers. Chichimeca? I don't know. And this is one of the super chilies from the seeds beside it. It kind of looks like they are the exact same pepper. You know, a rose by any other name would still be as sweet, yada yada, blah blah. So I kind of think maybe some of our seed companies are playing silly buggers and just renaming things to get extra sales. So I wonder, what is the actual name? If anybody knows, let me know. That would be great. Let's take a look at the Scotch bonnet here, though. It's got some good growth coming out at the bottom. It's doing alright. Starting to put on a couple of flowers up there. Focus. So that will be fabulous. I think I will do a pepper by pepper look at the shrine one of these days, but not during the heat wave, that's for sure. Well, as is the usual, my camera is flashing dead battery at me, so I'm gonna let you all go, but thank you so much for hanging out here on another Sunday in the Garden video. If you got any questions, comments, whatnot, feel free to pop them down below. If you're interested in the pickled peppers, like I said, check out the Bear in the Kitchen link. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful Sunday. I hope you had a wonderful 4th of July yesterday. And have a great week ahead. Alright, I feel like I'm forgetting something. What could it possibly be? Oh yeah, the giveaway. I'm going to be doing that in a separate video. Check for that this afternoon. It will get up today. And yeah, if you are the lucky winner, make sure that you go onto my About page, get my email, and get a hold of me so I can get your address and we can figure out where to send these packages. So yeah, that video will be coming out in a little bit. Just wanted to get this up first. I will see you guys probably between now and next Sunday, but if not, I'll see you guys next Sunday. Have a great week.